Hi everyone, my name is Victoria Diel. I'm part of Tonic Studios design team, and today I am going to bring you designer's choice number 13. I cannot believe that number 13 is here already, but here it is, and it's beautifully presented in this gorgeous envelope. I love the envelope, never mind about the die sets. But inside you're going to find a set of dies in a plastic sheet. And this is how it comes to you. Then you can put it on a magnetic sheet if you wish. This die set is called Luxurious Lace Die Set, and it includes 18 dies. You've got a couple of little corners in there, but some beautiful edges. And you know, you can use these edges on your cards, boxes, memory book pages, you know, memory book pockets, you know, across your books. There's all sorts of things that you can use these dies on. You're not limited only by your imagination, I guess. These are really up my street. I think they're absolutely stunning, and I think I'm going to be using these quite a bit on a few different projects. You can use them across your card, down your card. It really is up to you. So now we're going to put our card together. I've actually cut the pieces already because I didn't want to bore you to death with cutting different pieces on the video. So I've gone ahead and we've got a 5x7 card blank, which is Tonic Studios. We've used the same width card in the gold mirror. It's a little bit shorter, but it doesn't matter because the layers on top will cover this up. It was just a piece I had spare. We've cut the scallop across the bottom. And then the next layer in the ballerina pink, we've actually cut the beautiful detail, and I absolutely adore this edge. So that's just going to leave a border across the bottom. In the next layer, we've gone with an off-white, which is the same colour as the card blank, and we've cut the detail into this one. And that's just going to layer on with a slight border across the bottom. We've used the same cardstock again, and we've used a different border across the bottom. This will be lifted on foam pads shortly, and then we've used a decorative paper, and I know you'll have lots of papers in your stash. Here we've used a pink silky ribbon to go across the bottom, and then we've cut some matten layers in the gold mirror and the off-white, and you've got a layer there across the bottom and a fine border around the edge. We're then going to use another layer again that has a fancy edged bottom, and we're going to stamp a sentiment which is going to go on top of this layer. And here's me rummaging around on my desk looking for it, and it's in my platform all ready to be stamped. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp this sentiment. Here we've got the Tim Holtz mini travel platform, and we've placed a stamp from one of the frame sets that Tonic have released recently. And we're going to ink this up with our Hybrid Nouveau ink pad in the black shadow. Gentle tapping and bring the lid down. Press firmly and then lift the lid. Now for me, I do like a really dark sentiment. So again, I'm going to lightly tap the sentiment and then ink again. And just because I can, I'm going to do it one more time, just so that it's really, really dark in colour, and it'll make it pop on the card. There we go, isn't that beautiful? And lift it out, and we'll put the platform to one side. Now we'll start to put the card together. As you all know, I love the Tonic's Deluxe adhesive, and I do use wet glue wherever I can. I've tried lots of glues in the past, but the Deluxe for me is just my favourite glue in the whole wide world. And I know a few of you giggle at that, but it's the absolute truth. So we'll put the card blank to one side, and we're going to glue these two layers together using the Deluxe. You just need to put a little glue around the edges and in the middle. We don't need to go down to the detail at the bottom because it will only mark your mirror card. And as long as it's stuck everywhere else. It doesn't matter that that gold layer behind is a bit shorter because you're not going to see. Then firmly press the card down, make sure there's no little air bubbles trapped underneath there. Now isn't that detail beautiful? This is my favourite die in the set, I think, but they're all beautiful. Here we're going to add that off-white layer, and again we're going to use the wet adhesive and we're going to glue it flat all the way around the edges, and then we're just going to go across the bottom with just a little bit of the glue. We're not gluing down a mirror card here, so if it did seep you wouldn't notice, it would dry clear. And then add a little bit of adhesive in the centre. Again, place this flat with a slight border across the bottom, and then we're going to straighten that up. There we go. You can see the card coming together already. Just beautiful, and I love pinks and golds together. Make sure that's all stuck in place, and then we're going to stick the pattern paper down to the mat, and we're going to stick that together flat again with the wet adhesive. And I know you'll all have some pretty papers in your stash. As crafters, we do like to collect beautiful papers. And then we haven't got the heart to use them, but I thought this one went really well with the card. Now we're going to go across the bottom here with fine red liner tape. And this is where we're going to stick the Silky Crush ribbon. And we're just going to wrap it around the back of the topper for the card here. You're not going to see the tape through the ribbon because it is fine tape. And then add a piece of ribbon. It could be Silky Crush or any type of ribbon you want to use. And then we're going to wrap that around the back. I like to use the Silky Crush ribbon because it makes beautiful bows. But if you collect ribbon like myself, I'm sure you'll have lots in your stash. Now we're going to use 2mm foam pads. This just adds that little bit of depth, but not too much. I do like 3mm foam pads, but for this card 2mm works just perfectly. So remove all the backs here. And then we're going to place that onto the rest of the card. Making sure we've got a slight border across the bottom. And you can see we've got a little excess card at the top, and we're just going to trim that off with scissors. There we go. Just neatens it all away. And put those in the bin. And there we go. Now we've got the matten layers that we're going to put onto the top of the card, and we're just going to place some wet adhesive onto the off-white layer to place on the gold mirror card where we've actually put the detail die across the bottom. Just remove away any excess glue you might have off the mirror card, because that will mark. There we go. We're going to put foam pads, again 2mm foam pads onto the reverse, and then we're going to place that onto the card front. Allowing a fine border just around the edge and the top of the card, and then we're going to add some wet adhesive to the stamped topper that we've just done earlier, a small amount of glue on the back there, and then place that onto the gold mirror where again we've added a decorative edge. And again we're going to add 2mm foam pads to the reverse. This just adds great depth and dimension to your card and really makes it pop. Remove the backing and then place with a nice even border around the edge. Now we're going to switch on the hot glue gun, ready to stick the triple bow that we've created with the silky crush ribbon. And whilst that's heating away, I will show you how to make a triple bow on your fingers without any fancy bow making equipment. So you're going to grab the ribbon and hold it between your little finger and your next finger. You're going to go over the top of your first finger and down underneath, and you go over, under, and then trim off enough to have the length of your tails. Then you're going to wrap it over the top and down through the other side, push it through with your finger, and then grab it from the other side, and then pull it taut, and then create a loop with both ends of the ribbon through the tails, and then pull. Now it'll be a little tight to get off your fingers, but it will be a tight middle. So just take your time. I think they look so much more realistic made on your fingers than on a bow making machine. And then pull all the ends out, and then neaten off your tails with a pair of scissors. And there you have a very pretty triple bow. If you wanted a double bow, you just wrap the ribbon around your fingers twice instead of 3 times. And you can make your single bows the same way. And we're going to add a little bit of hot glue to the underneath of the bow, and then place that onto the card and just hold it until it's just grabbed. It doesn't take long for it to set. Clumsy me spilt glue onto my mat, so we'll rub that away. There we go, that's just drying nicely. And I think that bow would actually look really pretty with a silk rose or something in the centre. I do like to fill my bows with a little something in the centre, so let me see if I can find a little rose. There we have a little silk satin pink rose. Add some hot glue to the reverse and place that in the centre, and again just hold it for a second and that will dry. Now to finish the card, I think it would look really beautiful with some Nouveau drops. Now I'll try some ivory seashells here, but the nozzle's clogged, so we're going to use Cloud 9 in the Dream Drops. Nouveau and Tonic, well, Tonic have a lot of Nouveau products now, and you're not stuck for choice of products, but the drops will always be a firm favourite of mine. I use them wherever I can. I don't need an excuse to use a Nouveau drop. I think they just finish a project off so beautiful, and with this card being such an elegant card, I think it deserves a little drop. So we've gone across the bottom here, and then I think we'll go through the bottom section as well, just adding small drops. I kind of place the drop down and then I do a circular motion just to make sure there's no little ends there, so that they form a nice little drop. And I'm going to go back into the centres there and add another, and then I'm going to go across the bottom. I think it deserves quite a few drops as it's a special card. If you get a drop that just goes a little bit AWOL, just either move it with the end of your nail or a pokey tool. The card isn't ruined just because a drop decides to go a bit AWOL. And I think these drops just finish the card off beautifully. So there we have a really pretty, elegant card, and I think you'll be making some beautiful cards with these die sets. I mean, you've got so many borders to choose from, 18 dies in the complete set, and I think that's a smashing set. So we bring the die set over. Thank you so much everybody for joining me today. If you would like to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos, and I'll also be putting my affiliated links up, and Tonic will be selling this set direct. So this is Designer's Choice number 13. Thanks for joining me, and goodbye for now.